did get 1 or 2 interviews through the placement cells, but I think it's much harder that way. As soon as you go, like you start going attending networking events and you start talking to your seniors, connect with them on LinkedIn. I would also suggest that they teach you how to. So Columbia teaches you a lot about how to network and try to ask for informational interviews with people. So I connected with, I think, hundreds of people on LinkedIn. I cold called them and I spoke to them and I asked them to give me an informational interview. Then they did, and they were very, very receptive. So they understood, and they gave me like half an hour, 1 hour, and spoke to me about their company and what they do and what he or she does. So that helped me a lot to understand the industry. And some of them also passed on my resume and increased my chances overall to get an interview. So I think that reference is very important, however you get it. So the role was very unique because it had just started. The interview process, so that's why it was less technical and was more about to see how a person could blend into a team and how a person would be able to deal with project managers. So there are project managers at AECOM and deputy project managers, people who would help the project managers and assist them in those projects. So it's very important to find a person who can very easily understand a project manager or like work with that person and also have math or project finance kind of background. Process overall was mainly on those lines and not that much on technical lines. I think there's an event that AECOM organizes which is called Fantastic Friday, which is where they call a lot of graduates, and it's a very unique event where they host in a ballroom, and like you get a chance to interact with the senior management of the company, and the next day is where you go for an interview. The legal team at AECOM is very good, and and it's very important to be in touch with them to understand the process completely and always coordinate with them. And that actually went pretty smoothly for me. There were some companies who were not sponsoring, and there were some. Usually the bigger ones are more open to sponsoring, but even that, like if you take the 5 or 6 top civil engineering companies in the US, you would see that some are not very open to sponsoring. It's a little dicey in terms of you don't know if the next company, even if it sponsors you and your H1B transfers, if the process goes smoothly, because it again has to be approved. Even though you have the lottery and even though you're just switching companies, your new role and everything, like the whole application, will get evaluated again. And if USCIS chooses to investigate more or try to, so that process can get either delayed or even rejected. So that has happened. Some people have gotten delayed, some people have gotten rejected, and of course for some people it's just been smooth. So in my specific role, of what I remember, 10 or 11 of us applied, and I think 5 got the lottery. It's very important to understand what you like and then end up doing that, especially for a master's program, because that's a little more specific and it's a specialization, right? And of course, the master's program you do, that's companies view that and would give you a job in the US. So it's very important that whatever you add to your background is alignment with the kind of job you would want. Working in the US is very systematic, in general, in terms of organization. You'd send calendar invites to people for meetings. India, on the other hand, is very different, and in India also, like the US, it depends a lot on the organization, the work culture. But this organized bit is definitely much less in India in terms of whether it's people coming on time, whether it's people being more respectful, or all of those kind of things are definitely cultural differences one might face. I think the US is more individualistic, and India is growing, and you have the opportunity to be an entrepreneur here in a growing economy, which is something unique. So I think so far it's been good. In the future, I'd like to take more of a responsibility and more of a leadership position which obviously comes with experience and to understand how things work. So my whole year has been all about understanding and being like malleable and trying to just be able to adjust and understand how things work.